welcome back to my channel. I'm doing a different video today. It's going to be everything I've eaten the most during this pregnancy. I'm 34 weeks pregnant today, and it's also National Rainbow Baby Day, which means if anyone who suffered a miscarriage or a loss of a child, whether that's stillbirth or any sort of loss of a child, basically, and then has another baby after, is considered a rainbow baby. And today marks the day for all those babies, and that means this baby, because you guys know, if you watch my channel, I had a miscarriage last year, so this is my rainbow baby, and he is just a little active bug lately. He's always active, but like today he's really active. He's been pretty crazy. And so today I'm just gonna go over some foods that I've eaten the most during this pregnancy. I am no dietitian or any nutritionist, like I'm none of those, but I have heard some things about certain things to eat during pregnancy that help with it, and what's good for you. Obviously, you want to be eating lots of healthy foods because you're nourishing two people, and you need to be high in everything that you can. But yeah, so let's just start this video. So the beginning of my pregnancy, like the first few months of my pregnancy, I for sure thought I was having a girl based on the food selections I was having. Before I found out I was pregnant, I was actually obsessed with BLTs, like bacon, lettuce, tomato sandwiches, like all the time. I didn't know why. I was like, I just want to eat that for breakfast and lunch, like every single day. And then I found out I was pregnant. I was like, oh, that makes sense. That was a craving I had. And I still eat those today. I kind of fell off for a couple months, but then I picked up again and started eating BLTs again because they're just so good, and they're like so easy to make, and you get your protein, your carb, your fruit and veggie, and your fat content. So it was like perfect thing for me to just make really easily, and it's so consistent. And another thing that I was eating a lot was a lot of Starbucks. Like, not a good amount. Like, it was too much. I, for some reason, was like super low energy in the beginning of this pregnancy, but then somehow, even in my third trimester, being 8.5 months pregnant, I'm like extremely energetic. Like, I make my food all the time now, whereas before I was like, I don't want to cook at all, really. And I don't know why, but I was like ordering decaf Starbucks drinks like every single day because I was obviously not supposed to have coffee. Well, you can have coffee. You can have 4 glasses a day. But I honestly was trying to stay away from it. And so I was having decaf coffee from Starbucks because it was like the only decaf that I liked, and it was iced. And so I was having lots of decaf coffee. I also having a lot of burgers in the beginning of my pregnancy. It was like BLTs and burgers in the beginning of my pregnancy. That was like a lot of what I was eating, and it wasn't like homemade burgers, okay? I was wanting to eat out like all the time. For some reason, the beginning of pregnancy, that's all I want to do was eat out. And so, like, there's like these burger places in town that I was specifically craving, so I was getting those a lot of the time, which was not good for the bank. I fully regret doing this. Like, I definitely regret spending that money, but at the same time, I was also like, that's all I want to eat. And so I'm gonna feed myself that. I'm pregnant and I deserve it, is basically how I was putting it. Yeah, try and stay away from eating out. It was healthy eating out, but it was still eating out. Like, it wasn't McDonald's or like a fast food place. It was like gourmet burgers, which is why it was more expensive. So lots of burgers. I had lots of fruit. I was eating lots of fruit. It was either fruit or like fruit smoothies that I was doing. I bought a Magic Bullet, which isn't the best from smoothies, to be honest, but I bought one anyways, and it was cheap, so I did it. And so if I was having fruit, it was mostly oranges because they're high in vitamin C, which is highly recommended in your pregnancy. You need lots of vitamin C. I was having lots of grapes, which I still am having lots of grapes. Lots of strawberries. I was having strawberries a lot, which are also very good for you. And then towards the end of my pregnancy, I was having a lot of peaches, which got kind of expensive again, so I stopped eating them, and just went back to eating grapes, and which grapes are very expensive as well, but you get a lot, so it doesn't take much for you to eat to be full and have all the nutrients. And then if I was doing this fruit smoothie, which I was doing almost every single day as well because it was just so easy to make in the mornings and stuff, and the two different types I was really making was strawberry and banana and mixed berry. And so when I would, depending on which one I would have, obviously different types, I would always add spinach, almond milk, vanilla almond milk to make it better, vanilla lactose-free milk because my diet has required me to have gluten and dairy free all the time. But during my pregnancy, I've actually had a difference and a shift, and I've been able to eat those things and it not affect my body the same way, which has been very nice because when I've been craving things that have gluten and dairy in it, it hasn't hurt me, which is very, very good, and very nice because you just want to be able to eat what you want to eat, right? And so I was having lots of, I was putting yogurt and milk in there, but they were both lactose free still because they were great still. And almond milk is very good for you. But you gotta watch what almond milk you're buying because not all almond milk has the right nutrients in it. Some almond milk doesn't even have calcium in it. You gotta make sure that you're getting the same benefits as milk as you are when you're having almond milk or oat milk or whatever you're choosing. And then so I would do that, and then I would add spinach, I would add parsley and cilantro because those things are very high in protein, iron, and just tasted really good, to be honest, in my smoothies. I was kind of recreating the smoothie from Booster Juice called Spinach is in it, and I was adding orange juice and apple juice, and sometimes, depending on how I felt that day, and mango, but mango was getting too expensive, so I wasn't adding too much mango into the smoothie. But yeah, so I was having smoothies like very, very often, like literally every single day, which was crazy. And then I was also having a lot of ice cream. I still kind of am having ice cream. It's not as often. Like in the beginning of my pregnancy, for the first 3 months, I was eating ice cream all the time, like lactose-free ice cream, which again is expensive. It's so expensive, but it was so good and worth it. And like I just was craving sweets all the time. The Starbucks drinks, like I mentioned, I had coffee all the time. I also had the refreshers a lot of the time, which have caffeine in them, but because I was having decaf coffees and I was able to have the refresher as well. And like the refreshers, oh my god, are so good. I was obsessed with the Mango Tango and the passion fruit ones. Oh my god, was I having those so often, like 3 times a week at least. It was ridiculous, but I mean, I was craving the sugar, and I'm not a sweets person at all, like at all, and I was craving sweets, so it made me really think I was having a girl, because not only was I having those kinds of sweets, I was craving cheesecake all the time, like all the time. In the beginning of my pregnancy, I ate a lot of cheesecake, which was not the best for me, but we'll move past that. You gotta cheat sometimes, and that was my cheat. Another thing I was having lots was, which I still have lots of, is chicken, rice, and veggies. So it's like broccoli, lots and lots of zucchini. Zucchini is very good for you. It's high in folic acid. Potatoes as well. Potatoes are very good. They're high in a lot of nutrients. Very good for you. And cauliflower in the beginning, but not so much more. It's more so broccoli now. What else? What kind of? Oh yeah, and then I would do like zucchini boats. So I would add I would cook the zucchini, put some rice inside with a little bit of lactose-free cheese and spices, and sometimes with peppers, sometimes with just random vegetables. And that would be my zucchini boat, which are very, very good for you as well. Like I said, zucchini is very good for you during your pregnancy, as well as getting your protein and such. So I was adding lactose-free cheese, which was high in protein because the cheese that I have has got like 8 grams of protein in a small little bit of cheese, which is great. Really good for you. High in calcium because you really need lots of calcium as well during your pregnancy. Another thing I was having a lot was pastas, so I was craving pastas a lot of the time as well. I was eating maybe 2 or 3 times a week pasta as a meal, but yeah, it was so good. I just love pasta. Pasta is just so easy and good, and just you can't screw it up. And it's also high in folic acid depending on the pasta you buy, which is something you need to promote your baby's development, so definitely need lots of that. And another thing I didn't just pick up, like the last 3 months or so, I was having lots of like issues going on with my digestive system, and had nothing to do with what I was eating. We figured it out that it wasn't really what I was eating that was causing it, and if you've watched my previous videos, I talk about it. But yeah, so I like tried to help myself, and I can't tell if it's the combination of the two things, but I started taking iron supplements to see if that was causing it, as well as because I was low in it. Baby was stealing all of my iron, like all of it, to the point where like, how are you moving and doing things and not being dizzy? I'm like, I don't know. So I've been taking iron pills for a while now. And with that, I also started eating a lot more granola and yogurt. Yogurt and granola I was having like pretty regularly already in my pregnancy, but it was like every single day I was switching on and off between oatmeal one day and then granola and yogurt the next day. Also have to be careful with yogurt. I don't know the science exactly. Basically, probiotic is very good for you during your pregnancy, but too much yogurt can cause some nutrition imbalance, so you have to be very careful with that. I'm just winging it, really. But yeah, so I was having yogurt and granola one day and then oatmeal the next, and it was really helping my digestive system, as well as keeping me with calcium and the protein that I needed. I was eating the hemp granola, which I will put a photo in here, but very high in protein. It's like 10 grams of protein and I think 25% of your iron. So a lot of that is very good for you, obviously, during your pregnancy. Some things like salads I was eating lots of the time. I was really put off by eating eggs, to be honest, but unless I did it with the salad. So at the beginning of my pregnancy and like throughout my pregnancy, I guess, I've been eating lots of Caesar salads with egg in it, like hard-boiled eggs. Super easy, simple, omegas, fatties, and protein, obviously, all, and vitamins, all within the egg, so it's very good for you. So I was doing that with a mixed Caesar salad. So what I would do is I would do gluten-free croutons, and then lactose-free cheese in it, and then I would do arugula, romaine, green leaf, spinach, and kale. That's what my cocktail would be, and that's very good for you, high in everything basically. So it's very good, and Then I would do a lot of sweet kale salads as well. So it's with poppy seed dressing, which you still have to be very careful with, because if you don't know, poppy seed is the opioid, like cocaine and stuff comes from the poppy seed, and so it's a natural opioid. You have to be very careful with how much you're consuming. I obviously was consuming a small amount all the time, so it wasn't affecting the baby at all, and it was just passing through my system. But yeah, you gotta be careful with that. That with lemon poppy seed muffins, which I had a few times throughout my pregnancy as well. But yeah, so I was having those salads, and some of the time traditional Caesar salad as well, so just like the iceberg lettuce, whatever. But then I have some not so good things I was eating lots of the time. I mentioned the cheesecakes, but I was having a lot of the Reese's sticks. Oh my god, those I had like almost every single day. I'm shocked, like I don't have diabetes yet or something, because like those are kind of high in sugar. But I'm not a sugary person, so like when I am consuming the sugar, I'm consuming the daily amount. So it's not like I'm overdoing my sugar count for the day, which is good. And then like another thing I was having lots of the time was barbecue rice crackers that are made out of sweet potatoes. Oh my god, like the cracker thins, I'll put a picture up of those too. The baby loves these. Obsessed. Like every time I eat them, he's moving around like crazy. Like he just freaking loves them. So I love them too. They're very good for you. They're made out of sweet potato rice crackers, and the flavoring is obviously not GMO'd, and they're gluten-free, and they're just so freaking good. So I love those too. And another big thing I was having throughout this pregnancy was broccoli mac and cheese. The pasta was gluten-free. The cheese is my lactose-free cheese that I really love, and then broccoli. So I was doing lots of that as well, because those are easy lunches, full of protein, full of nutrients in that, because all three items have a lot of stuff in it. So yeah, that's kind of like a lot of the stuff I was having during this pregnancy most of the time. I have gotten back into eating eggs because I have been low in iron. I started eating eggs now again, regardless of how I feel about it. So I've been eating eggs in the morning, as well as bacon, and some toast, gluten-free. And yeah, I guess like that's kind of like what I've been eating the most. I have always had my cheats, so like I'm always eating some sort of sweet at some point, which is so weird for me, because I'm not like that on a normal basis without being pregnant. Like I'm not that person. A little bit of chips, not a ton. You're supposed to really stay away from like those kinds of things, but if you're gonna eat chips, like do Old Dutch or something where they're gluten-free. They're also low in cholesterol, and just you want to be very conscious of what you're putting inside your body, because obviously you're feeding your baby as well, and that determines his growth and determines, well, your baby's growth and their cognition and stuff like that. So you want to be very good at keeping it on the healthy side. Been having lots of vitamin C, and you just want to make sure you're having lots of folic acid in your foods. But yeah, like I've been pretty good when it comes to food. I've kind of fell off the wagon a little bit this third trimester. I'm not like as healthy as I was in the beginning, despite the burgers and the BLTs. I was very, very healthy in the beginning. Now I'm just like tapered off, and I'm like, oh, all those things don't sound great to me anymore. But yeah, so those are kind of like the most I've eaten kind of scenarios. Obviously I'm not eating those things every day, but these are just the things I've had in the last 34 weeks, because 34 times 7 is, I'll put down here because I cannot do the math for that right now, and that is a lot of meals. Okay, that's a lot of meals to be having, so obviously I'm not eating these for every single meal. But yeah, so that is kind of what I've eaten, and like I said, I'm not a nutritionist. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm basically just winging it. I had lots of vegetables, have lots of fruit. I have the 30-70 portion, which if you don't know what that is, it's 70% vegetables and fruits, and then 30% protein and meats. So you want to be keeping your diet mostly vegetables and fruits, not just necessarily in pregnancy, but in life. You don't want to be looking at your plate and you have more meat than you have vegetables. That's not exactly what your body needs all the time. Your body needs the all-around vitamins. Obviously you need protein and carbs to get through the day, but those things aren't as important. Yeah, so I guess this is kind of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you get some inspiration from it, or you can relate to this video. I hear a lot of women are just like either really healthy or really unhealthy, and it's really hard to be balanced during pregnancy because you don't want to do things, you don't want to cook, you go to the grocery store. Luckily I've been very active the last 2 trimesters, like 2 and 3. I've been very good at, making my food and stuff, so that's been really nice. But yeah, so if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and comment down below if there's anything you guys want to see. I know I mentioned in my last video I'm going to do a 50 facts about me Q&A kind of thing, so that will be coming soon. But yeah, and then we have like more stuff coming, and I have a baby haul coming and the nursery tour coming finally, because I just got a bunch of stuff for the nursery that is somewhat completing it. It's not going to be fully done until the baby's here because there's things missing for the baby, but it's pretty much there. So I hope you liked this video, and please subscribe to see more content because I'm about to have way more fun stuff coming. And yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.